Hello and welcome to Calhoun County's Most Wanted. I'm Susan Shipman. I'm guest hosting for John Garlick and here today with Lieutenant Carl Moses. Hello, Lieutenant Moses.
Susan, how are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I was driving into work today. I saw the first billboard on the Woodstock 5K that's coming up on the first Saturday in August, and I was pretty excited about that. I've done the 5K 3 or 4 times now, and it is hot on the first Saturday in August.
I bet so.
Yes, it's
very
certainly warm enough now, and you know, we are at Second Chance observing some of the things that are going on this month. That is Pride Month.
Right.
And then we also have Juneteenth coming up on the 19th, and so we are recognizing some events around our area close in and in the state of Alabama that are being done to commemorate those month and the Juneteenth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good.
What's going on at the sheriff's office?
This is always a busy time of year for us. You know, our kids are out of school, so people are home more, and we're just the warm weather seems to make crime happen more often. I guess it's not cold. Criminals want to get back out and do what they do.
Right. It makes me a little irritable too. So, yeah. Okay, and so previously on Most Wanted, we had Amare Hall, and he's been apprehended.
Yeah, so our previous total was 5,191. With Mr. Hall being captured, we're at 5,192 caught because of the Most Wanted, and that's awesome. Thank y'all for that. Please continue to call if you see anybody that's wanted.
Yeah, having the public helping and spotting people out in the community and making that phone call certainly makes that job a whole lot easier.
Yeah, we could not do it without the tips from the public.
Absolutely. Like John says, you call, we haul.
That's it.
All right, we'll be back with you then in just a few minutes. Here's the first half of our lineup. Michael Williams from Anniston on failure to appear, possession, receipt of controlled substance. Stephen Jones of Anniston, probation violation, possession of marijuana first. Allison Main of Anniston, failure to appear, possession of controlled substance. Lakina Davis, Anniston, probation violation, possession of controlled substance. Jeremiah Tedder, Weaver, probation violation, obstructing justice using false ID. If you have any information about these cases, please call 1-833-251-7867. Welcome back. That was the first part of the lineup. If you saw anybody that you know and you know their whereabouts, please make the phone ring, 256-236-6600 at the Sheriff's Office. Today we have DaMarco Curry from the Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention here as our guest, and DaMarco is here to tell us about an event that you guys have coming up.
All right, so again, I am DaMarco Curry, Prevention Specialist at the Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention, where we provide resources, raise awareness, and educate the community on the dangers of substance misuse. Today, I was going to talk about Cut the Violence, a program that we created, also presented by the Barbers Against Bullets. So Barbers Against Bullets are an organization to better address the root causes of substance misuse and gun violence in our communities. They aim to empower and educate barbers to become agents of change and create a healthier and better community. As you know, gun violence is wrecking the communities these days. Our data shows that 46 youth lost their lives in the year of 2022 due to gun violence. As my coworker always say, that's almost one person per week of the year of 2022.
And that was those numbers are from the state of Alabama or from our community?
That's Talladega and Calhoun County.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Talladega and Calhoun County combined, we lost 46 youth
That's horrible.
to gun violence. So we're trying to better address that cause, everybody says, we can do marches, we can do things like that, but we find that ineffective. So we're trying to come up with a way that we can better restore that empathy to the communities. Now it has grown to be numb. You hear gunshots, someone lose their lives, and it's just a norm now. But we're trying to restore community, love, the empathy that we need back to get everybody together, to come together under one cause, which is addressing gun violence and substance misuse. And we had a brilliant idea to start with our barbers because, everybody has to have a haircut. So we're just trying to educate them, equip them with the tools to better communicate with their clients to create a safer and healthier community.
Yeah, the barbershops and beauty parlors are a place where people get together and they talk, around the room, and it's kind of a social thing, so that's a great place to begin. Second Chance had a program with beauty parlors some years back, and it was called Cut It Out, and it was about, discussing domestic violence, and because we know that victims would disclose to their hairdresser, what was going on in their lives, and so that's a great program.
Right, and like you said, it's where a lot of talking goes on. Barbers here from A to Z, they may know the killer, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how could we equip them to better serve those who come in there needing that conversation, needing those resources, even if it's going to the sheriff's office. Hey, I have this this idea or somebody or cause that maybe I'm sorry, I got freezed up, but if they have a tip or something for you guys, letting them know that, hey, it's okay, this is a safe space to tell me, so I can call the sheriff's office. Here's the sheriff's office now, and we can probably get them on Calhoun County Most Wanted. You just never know. So we're just trying to equip those barbers with that.
You don't know, my sister-in-law was murdered by her ex-husband on August the 29th of 2017, and so I understand and I feel what other people feel about gun violence and losing someone that they love. And I know that it's hard to have that emotion if you haven't experienced that. Talking about the numbness that we have in our communities, and there's one more report on the news that someone else has lost their life to gun violence, and it's just like, oh, well, there's one more.
Right.
And we can't afford that numbness. If we're there, then we're not in prevention mode. We're not in that talking about mode. We're not in the do something different besides picking up a gun. Walking away from the situation if that's what needs to be done. So many things are being dealt with guns now instead of with talking, or I don't advocate violence, but a good old-fashioned fist fight. There are ways to deal with situations besides picking up a gun and ending someone's life.
Right. And when you talk about that prevention mode, as a prevention specialist, we're always in that prevention mode. We try to be proactive rather than reactive. So that's why we came up with Barbers Against Bullets present Cut the Violence. This is an event that will kind of be an eye-opener to the community. We're going to have it set up just like a funeral. You're going to be able to come. We're going to have soloists. We're going to have free food. We're going to have a casket that was donated to us by S.M. Goodson. So what's going to be in the casket is like different articles of people that lost their lives throughout Alabama when it comes to gun violence. And we're also going to have a mirror in there, so it's going to be like you're attending your own funeral. So maybe those kids, it'll be an eye-opener to them and be on that prevention side rather than the reactive side when something happened. So that's our main goal, is just restoring our communities by being more aware and also knowing the fact that I can get behind the cause and create this synergy or this energy to become agents of change throughout my community. We don't just want to use the barbers, we also want to use those people that's in the communities, that's seeing it every day, that's hearing it from their kids, getting the mothers and the fathers involved, We want that energy to trickle down throughout the community.
And if it's talked about in the barber shop, and then everybody that's there talks about it to one more person, and them to one more person, and then that it does trickle down throughout the community. The event sounds truly impactful with the with your props there. That is a very good attention getter. That sounds excellent. And so when we come back, we'll talk about when and where and how to get involved.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
The second half of our lineup: Willie Peters Jr. of Jacksonville, probation violation, possession of controlled substance. Stephanie Noel Aniston, probation violation, possession of forged instrument, third. Marquita McLeod Aniston, failure to appear, probation revocation. Billy Hughes Aniston, failure to appear, illegal possession of credit debit card. Warren Jones Jr. Aniston, probation violation, use, possession of controlled substance. If you have any information about these cases, please call 1-833-251-7867. Welcome back. I hope you recognize the face that you saw in the second half of the lineup there. And remember, you call, they haul 256-236-6600 for the Sheriff's Office. And we're back with DaMarco Curry, and he's going to tell us some more about the event that's coming up.
So Barbers Against Bullets, Cut the Violence. It will be Monday, June 12th, 2023 at 10 a.m. It will be located at Zen Park. That location is 101 West Aniston, Alabama, 36201. We're hoping that everyone comes out, have a good time, but also remember the cause that we're bringing the community together for. Cut the Violence, we're gonna have a raffle off for a PS5, so you have a chance to win a PS5 if you're in attendance.
Wow.
And we also have free food. Like I stated before, we have soloists, and it's just gonna be a chance to really become aware and see the cause that we're trying to bring the community together for.
And so when is that going to end? It starts at 10 and it's over at
12
noon. Okay. It's starting earlier in the day, so it's not going to be so hot. That's great.
Right.
And food for everybody, and the chance to win a PS5. Yes. That's a good carrot right there.
And we use that to simply get youth out, because that's who we really want to impact through this event, because our data shows that 16 to 23-year-olds are mostly impacted by gun violence and substance misuse. So if we could get that crowd out, that would be wonderful.
Very good. All right. We will share the information around our social media channels and see if we can't get y'all some more people out there to the event. That's wonderful. Zen Park is a great venue for that, with the stage area up there under the pavilion, and places for the kids to play while they're also there, and that's super good because everybody's out of school, except for those poor individuals that are in summer school, bless their hearts.
And I forgot to mention, we're gonna have a artist. His name is Young Jock. He was very popular back in the day, as we would say. But now he's kind of doing a transition in life, and he just went viral not too long ago for crying out for some of the stuff that he contributed to back in the day when he was rapping and stuff like that. So he want to come and give encouraging words to the youth as well, to let them know that they don't have to pick up a gun, even if they have to fight, but the taking of the life is very, very crucial, and is ripping our communities apart. So he's going to come, he's going to speak some encouraging words, and hopefully we can get that crowd out.
That's great. Once the life is taken, you can't get that back. It's over. And a split second is that decision making. And if we have an opportunity to think about that, and talk about that beforehand, then maybe we can make a different decision.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Very good. So tell us what else, what other kind of programs you have at the Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention for people who are not familiar with what's going on with your organization?
Okay, so my primary role is I go into schools. I teach Y-Try and the Mendez program. So Y-Try is a program that we go in and we teach about character development. We're dealing with more so of like tier 2 students. They're not bad, they just have a hard time kind of communicating how they feel or communicating what they're going through. So we try to pierce the heart of those kids and try to teach them things that they may not be learning or grasping on. It's a more intimate section where we can have one-on-one talks. And we also teach Mendez, Too Good for Drugs, where we talk about the different dangers and those type things that's going on in the school. What we do is we do a survey and we see what drugs are popular in that school. Like for instance, vaping, as you know, is high usage right now.
It's
so
horrible for young people.
Right,
Horrible.
right. So we kind of tailor make our lessons around vaping, tobacco, alcohol, and we teach them the dangers of it. You know, they see it from their elders or their guardians or whatever, but they don't know the harm that comes behind it. And once you're ignorant of something, you'll do anything without thinking about the negative harms of it. So we believe that if we educate, you know, they say when you know something, you do something better. So we try to educate them with the necessary things that they need to make better choices.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know, and so educating is a part of prevention, and that's extremely important. And the Mendez course is an evidence-based. It's not something that somebody just threw out there. It's been used across the country and in a lot of substance abuse programs. And so that's excellent.
Right.
You're going into the city schools?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
City and county.
Okay,
Yes,
very
ma'am.
good.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
great. How often do you get to do that?
So at least 3 times out the week. We
Wonderful.
rotate schools. We see Oxford Middle. We see Anniston Middle. We see Welborn, Weaver. Also, we have someone in Donahoe. We're all throughout the county and the city of Oxford.
That's great. Very good. Okay. And so how many people work in your office over there?
11 now.
Wow, that's
11.
great. Excellent. And so others of them do some of this prevention work that you do as well?
Yes, so we have the education portion, and we also have some that deal with military and their families. So we have a grant called Service Members, Veterans and Their Family. They kind of focus their work upon those veterans that are struggling or looking for those resources to become, whether they want a job or whether they're trying to get off a substance. They kind of tailor make their work around that.
That's great. I didn't realize that you guys had a veterans program. That's extremely important because they're coming back scarred and we're not taking good care of them.
All right.
So, all right, well, we will be back with the crazy criminal. Stay with us. Crime Stoppers. Between May 28 and May 31, 2023, a storage unit was broken into on Friendship Road in Oxford. 5 55-inch Roku TVs, assorted clothing items with tags still on, new and used pairs of Nike shoes, car speakers and speaker box, and hotel chairs were stolen. Between March 3rd and May 31, a storage unit was broken into on Friendship Road in Oxford. Various DVDs, Wii games, cell phones, and a laptop were stolen. Between May 29 and May 31, a 16-foot black Craftsman utility trailer was stolen from the Department of Conservation on Joseph Springs Motorway. Between May 27 and May 28, someone burglarized the business building for Crystal Springs Lake in Wellington. Unknown persons used spray paint to vandalize the walls inside the building. If you have any information about these cases, please call 1-833-251-7867.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
And we are back with today's crazy criminal.
Yes. So this guy, his name is Michael Rohana, and he was at a, I guess, an event at a museum in Philadelphia, He had a little too much to drink, probably a lot too much to drink. He snuck into an exhibit that was closed, and if you'll notice, the warrior statue there is missing a thumb. That's because Michael stole it and took it back to show his buddies at his home in Delaware. He was eventually caught. You know, there are cameras where priceless works of art sit, and charged by federal authorities. So they value the statue at being just over $4 million in value and 2,000 years old. So he's caught himself a lot of trouble.
Bless his heart, and oh my goodness, he has created the thumbless horseman. And really having a bad judgment lapse there.
Yes, indeed.
Very bad judgment lapse. Bless his heart. Goodness. Okay. Happily, that was not anybody I know in Philadelphia stealing the thumb to. Yeah, I wonder how long it took them to catch him, because
I would bet not long. You would think at an event like that, there's a guest list, there's
there you
cameras, you know.
lots of cameras.
Yeah, it probably didn't take. And you know what catches most criminals is they can't stop talking about their crime. So he didn't take it to keep it. He took it to go show it to somebody, and I'm sure it didn't take long for somebody to tell on him.
The terracotta thumb. Look what I got.
Look what I took from the museum.
Goodness. Yeah, bless his heart, definitely. Okay, the things that people will do to. So that was probably just a show-off thing. I mean, I don't really know that there's a market for terracotta thumbs.
Probably not broken ones, no. They probably want the whole statue.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit more difficult for him, but he did manage to hit the top, the rated list of knuckleheads committing crimes, and so there's that for him to. There's his legacy for his grandchildren.
That's
He'll be,
it.
once he gets out of federal prison. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you all for being with us today on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Remember that your tips are anonymous, and we want to add to the count and the amount of the people that have been apprehended from off of the Calhoun County's Most Wanted list. Thank you for being with us today. Y'all take care out there.